I would like Australian listeners to consider this a message from the future. If you do not deal with growing wealth inequality, you will see living standards and housing affordability continue to collapse for your kids and your grandkids.
You say you've put your finger on the key economic problem facing Australia and indeed the world. What is that wider problem?
It's inequality of wealth. It is the aggressive accumulation of vast amounts of wealth by the very, very, very rich. I'm not even really talking the 1% here, we're talking the 0.1%. Imagine you had $3 million a day passive income, right? How much of it would you spend?
Probably a lot.
A lot of it, what, half? Do you reckon you could spend $1.5 million a day?
It's not really possible, is it?
You'd spend 20 grand a day somehow. I probably couldn't spend 20 grand a day. That leaves you with almost the whole $1.5 million left to just buy assets. And if you allow the wealth of these very wealthy people to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, they basically have no choice but to buy assets. And what you then see as your ordinary working class British or Australian is you see asset prices going up and you see house prices going up. And you might think that's a good thing. And I think a lot of older Australians do think it's a good thing. But the problem is, once you've sold that house and you've used that money to have a fantastic retirement, what do your kids do? What do your kids do when the average Australian house in one of your big cities costs not $1 million, but $2 million? And they're forced to borrow $2 million just to buy a house, and they have to pay the interest on that $2 million. It is inevitable that over time, ordinary people will own less and less and less and less, and the billionaires will own more and more and more and more. And I think Australia is a really interesting example, right? Because you have a country with a phenomenal amount of natural wealth. Nobody made that. You know, these mining magnates, they didn't put that in the ground. God put that there for you guys, and you should be using it for the good of the Australian people, you know? Look at what Norway's done. Norway's taken that wealth, made the sovereign wealth fund, and what that means is the government can then provide really good level of public services without having to tax working people that much. Norway's not the only country that's done that. Countries like Qatar, countries like the UAE that have managed to take their natural wealth, use it for the good of the people of that country. And Australia has done a good job of that for a long period of time, but they're losing it. They're losing it because that wealth is starting to concentrate, and once it concentrates, it no longer works for the benefit of ordinary people.